Emperor Hirohito of Japan was born on April 29, 1901 in Tokyo, Japan. He was the longest reigning monarch, ruling from 1926 to 1989. He was crowned prince at the age of 15. During his time as emperor, his military became really aggressive and made policies that reflected Japan's stance, which led to the country's allegiance with World War II's Axis powers, as well as the attack on Pearl Harbor. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a surprise military strike by the Japanese Navy against the United States naval base at Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7, 1941. The attack commenced at 7:48 a.m. The base was attacked by Japanese fighter planes, bombers, and torpedo planes in two waves, launched by 6 aircraft carriers. 188 U.S. aircrafts were destroyed, 2,403 Americans were killed, and 1,178 others were wounded. Japanese losses were light: 29 aircrafts and 5 midget submarines lost, and 64 servicemen killed. The attack came as a profound shock to the American people and led directly to the American entry into World War II, which, as we know, led to the atomic bombings in Japan. On August 6, 1945, during World War II, an American B-29 bomber dropped the world's first deployed atomic bomb over the Japanese city of Hiroshima. The explosion immediately killed 80,000 people. Tens of thousands more would die later from radiation exposure. 3 days later, a second B-29 dropped another A-bomb on Nagasaki, killing an estimated 40,000 people. In September 1945, after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan's Emperor Hirohito announced his country's unconditional surrender in World War II in a radio address on August 15th. During that radio address, he also announced that if you were to be captured, you were to kill yourself. The Nanjing massacres took place during the Second Sino-Japanese War in World War II. They are often described as the Asian Holocaust. Between 1937 and 1945, nearly 3 to over 10 million people were murdered by Japanese military. Among them, 6 million were Chinese. Others included Koreans, Indonesians, Indo-Chinese, Filipinos, and Western prisoners of war. 4,100,000 Japanese soldiers and their 900,000 Chinese collaborators participated in the invasion of China. It is estimated that 1,440,000 Chinese soldiers were killed or missing in action, and as high as 22 million Chinese civilians were killed. Governments and historians in a number of countries hold Imperial Japanese family, especially Emperor Hirohito, Imperial Japanese Army, and Imperial Japanese Navy responsible for the mass murder and other war crimes committed against millions of prisoners and civilians of war. The impact Hirohito had on society was how he worsened the relationship between China and Japan and will forever be remembered as a tyrant.